Recording on. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mindful Mountains intro class, week 3. Thank you for being here. Everybody's got something to write with. Everybody's seated comfortably. Here we go. I see smiles. Everybody's doing okay. Good. I wanted to touch briefly on last week, a little review. We did running the energy and we introduced listening in. So those are our two primary techniques, the foundational techniques that we'll always practice. We will practice both of those again tonight. We did a week 2 card. I hope you're finding some time to jot down some thoughts here and there, at least a couple. It's good exercise to learn about yourself. Sometimes I need to read them a few times to get the feel of what we're being asked to think about. Oddly had an eloquent way with words. But last week, we were writing down what we found ourselves most interested and noting the reasons why something particular holds your interest. And I noticed a recent interest in science stuff that I have no idea what it's talking about, but I think it's really cool. Just a sense of curiosity. And the reason that I'm drawn to science is because I am curious to learn more about the universe. And one thing I found pretty fun was scientists assigning a musical note to the structure of spiders' webs. So then they put it all together and could make music out of the structure of a spider web, with implications that they could learn to communicate through vibratory frequencies with spiders. And I have no particular draw towards spiders or anything, but it looked like a fun article. And I thought, oh, that is something that drew my interest. And like I said, I couldn't explain more about it than I just said, but I think it's fun. And so stuff like that is what we're being asked to think about, noticing what interests you and thinking about why that interests you. So that was the week 2 card. There'll be another one tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to do our quick little slides. It's short this week. There we are, Mindful Mountain 12-week course with the consistent layout and colors that I like. Week 3, and that is my personal medallion of the emblem that Audley designed for his school that he developed, which was called the Lotus Center, and that was in Oklahoma City. So we're going to, again, practice running the energy and listening in. We're going to introduce some new info about the chakras and how they relate to listening in. And then we'll do our new card. So we relate listening in to the chakras because the sounds that we're hearing and or the colors that we're seeing are directly related to our chakra system. So what is a chakra? The word is Sanskrit and it means wheel or disc. A chakra is basically an energetic center on your body. It is part of our subtle or etheric or energetic body that is just as real as is our physical form. It's the part of our body that our eyes don't really see, but it's just as much there. This energy body is what the ancient healing techniques are based on. The meridian system in Chinese medicine, or Hindu Ayurvedic systems. They're based on how energy moves in the body. And there's a lot of, like acupuncture is meant to release little energetic blockages throughout the meridian system so that energy can move freely. But 7 main chakras are what generally is referred to when you hear about chakras in common culture. They look like wheels or discs out in front of your body, and they spin, and they're different colored, and they have different, sort of like flowers, they have little petals, and they all have different numbers of petals, and they have different colors. And it's like this wheel spinning out in front of you. And there's a little bit of an energetic tie, because it ties into your physical form in the spine. So our chakras are what is, it's like your force field, your aura. Your energy body is out in front of your physical body. So it is what interacts with the world first. So in this universal structure that everything is energy, your energetic body is what is relating to the world around you before your physical body has that information. So it's directly tied to your physical body. So energy is moving. It's a swirling, constant system interacting with your physical form. And your chakras spin, so they like attracts like. They'll either attract or repel, sort of like magnets. Your chakra system, your energy system as a whole, your chakras or your aura, can get damaged. They can be hurt. They can get filled up with gunk. You can get cleaned up and clear and healed as well. And so you can take the perspective of well-being from an energetic viewpoint. And that sometimes is helpful to think about. A physical ailment could be energetically related. So your chakra is an energetic part of your body that relates to the world at the forefront. It's our first line that relates to the world around you. So this is the sounds and the colors that correspond with each of the main 7 chakras. And after the slides, I'll show you a picture. So the base or root chakra ties into the coccyx, very base of the spine, and it's red colored. And when you listen in, if this chakra is what is prominent for your energetic body, you will hear like nighttime sounds, crickets, or the cicada sounds, sort of imagine woods at night, and you'll hear those sounds. Maybe like frog sounds in a pond. Next is the spleen. And this is sort of between the coccyx and the navel, and it's to the left a little bit. It is not perfectly in line. This center is the balancing chakra. It will be multicolored because it has aspects of all the other chakras. It's sort of the body's regulatory balancing chakra. And its sound is ocean sounds, like waves. Next is solar plexus or life power. This is at the navel, and green in color, and the sound of bamboo flutes. And so those lower chakras are what could be considered our animal body. Moving up into the heart is more of our intellectual body. Our heart brings love. It's yellow, like sunshine, like the golden yellow that we practice running the energy with. And this will be tinkling bells and gongs, sort of like wind chimes I hear. The throat is the fifth intellect chakra. It's at the throat, and it's blue. And this is where you might get that high-pitched, almost tinnitus ring in your ear, like that beep that's really annoying. And sometimes that just happens out of the blue. And I have found that I can make that sound go away if I direct my attention and move it up out of it. It's sort of a clue that I'm being too mental or thinking too much, that the intellect chakra is sort of taking too much of my energy. So I'll pull energy away from there to balance it. I might center at the top of the head and take a few deep breaths, and that high-pitched ringing will fade. Willpower is in the forehead. It ties into the pineal gland in the center of the brain. Purple, sound of trumpets. And the top of the head is our crown chakra, the seventh chakra, also known as the thousand-petaled lotus. This is what is represented when you see statues of Buddhas and they have all those bumps on the crown of the head. It's representative of the 1,000 petals of this chakra. This is sort of a mixed color. Again, you'll get some indigo, which is sort of like purplish blue color, sort of mixed with white. And you'll visually get some, like a dark night with lightning flashes. You'll get this rumbling storm effect at this crown chakra. Number 8 isn't really a chakra, but it's sort of the ultimate goal of the crown chakra being opened or activated beyond the top of the head, where the thunderstorm has been opened. The doorway has been opened. The storm ceases, and you'll hear just the Om sound with brilliant white light. That's sort of what we're striving for. Audley put these together. He had a beginning meditation book called Ancient Teachings of the Masters. It's not in print anymore. There's a few precious copies floating around. There is tons and tons and tons of information about chakras on the internet. You can get lost. It's really fun. It's really fun to check out. You will find differences and discrepancies from one person providing information to the next. What Audley presented is different from most that I have found in primarily the life power and heart chakra colors are usually switched, that the solar plexus is yellow and the heart is green. So most chakra pictures you'll find, you might notice that. In one lecture of Audley's, he talked about this, and he talked about how humanity is evolving. and that the green of life power and the gold of heart switched places as man's evolution as a whole is moving from less animalistic and more loving. So that was his explanation, and that works for me. So when we're listening in, you might think about these particular sounds, whether you're hearing any of these sounds or seeing these colors. And that will be information for you about where energetically you live from. Which of these chakras is most prominent to the world around you? Which of these energy centers is most receptive to the world around you? And that is what will be loudest and brightest. And it's recommended that whatever sound is in the forefront, you make effort to listen behind that sound, listen beyond that sound. Therefore, drawing attention away from that already prominent chakra in order to bring some balance between the chakras. So the loud sound you're hearing is because that's where your energy is. And we're striving to bring some balance, so energy needs to be sort of pulled away from that chakra. So listening for the sounds in the background, if that makes sense. Okay. Here's where you write down the third week card. I promise to watch the way my mind works to support my interest and attention. I will list the benefits or problems created because of the way my mind works. Watch the way my mind works to support my interest and attention. This is bringing to mind what I just said about pulling attention away from that already prominent chakra. That my mind would support my interest by giving more energy to the chakras that are already prominent. It's a habit. The way we think and look at the world is a habit. And so it's sort of, I just thought about like the way internet algorithms work. Like I searched for, spider web music making. And so the next articles I see are going to have something to do with spiders or music or webs. And so the brain sort of does that too. And your mind will work to support your interests. So are there benefits to that? Are there problems to that? It's an interesting mental assignment this week. Okay, everybody got it down? Again, this will be on YouTube with a link, so you can go back and pause and take notes and review. So I'm going to stop sharing screen. And I'm back. This is the photo I wanted to show you. It was done by Audley. Not available in print anymore. This is his, I believe he calls it the Kingdom. This was one of the first drawings he did. So you can see just in the physical body, these rainbow colors. The base chakra is red, tied in at the base of the spine. The next is the spleen. So it's over here as the balancing, multicolored. They're all tied into that one. And life power is the solar plexus. The heart is gold. Intellect, blue. Willpower is in the forehead. It's purple. And then the crown chakra is indigo with white coming in. And he shows them all sort of interconnected and swirling together. It's a nice picture. Okay. So we will be practicing this week running the energy and listening in, which we'll do now. Get comfy. A few deep breaths. Settle into your seat. We're seated upright, legs crossed at the ankles, thumb and forefinger together. We have some yogis in the house. This is a yoga mudra. Mudras are these hand positions. And this is said to connect you and the universe. And we're palm down on the thighs or knees so that we can keep and build some energy. So let your eyes drift closed. A couple deep breaths. And we center our attention at the top of the head, your mindful mountain. And we imagine, mentally ask for, or just pretend that we're building up a ball of golden colored energy at the top of the head. And then we move it down into the forehead, inside the forehead. Think about it being in your willpower chakra. And then we let the energy wash down over the face, throat, and then divide it across both shoulders and run it down the arms. Into your hands, where we'll leave it. Attention goes back to the top of the head. golden energy. It's the energy of the heart chakra. It's loving and it's healing. We'll move the energy into the willpower center. And this time, directing it back through the brain. Like a wave washing over the brain. And then at the back of the skull, moving the energy down the spine. All the way down to the coccyx, the root chakra. And then through the hips, divided down both legs. Collecting that energy we left in our hands. And then we send it down the lower legs and out the bottom of the feet and say goodbye. This is an energetic cleansing, and we let it go. We take our attention back to the top of the head. Those are the 2 movements. We'll repeat 2 more times. Asking for golden light. Moving it down into the forehead. Washing it down the face. Throat. Shoulders. And arms. To leave it in your hands, go back to the top of the head. And feel a tingling or a pressure or a weight or a warmth as the energy builds up. And we move it into willpower. and then wash back through the brain. This will serve to bring balance to the hemispheres of the brain. It will serve to enlighten or light up areas not in use. It will clear the cobwebs. It will soothe and refresh. At the back of the brain, send the energy down the spine. And as the energy moves down the spine, it's hitting all those nerves that sends energy out to all your organs, all your muscles. Everything ties into the spinal system. Imagine just sort of pushing through anywhere it's blocked or stagnant. All the way to the coccyx. Continuing through the hips, both legs. And the energy from the hands combines around the knees, and it all moves down the lower legs, through the feet, out the bottom of the feet, dissolves away into the earth. And we go back to the top of the head. One more time. Golden light. Into the forehead, inside the forehead. And down over the face. Think about it rejuvenating our skin, plump and vibrant with life, soft. And the throat, across the shoulders where we hold so much tension, eases down the arms. Leave it in the hands, back to the top of the head. And last time, down into willpower. And back through the brain. Fill the whole skull cavity, washing over the brain. And then down the spine. Every vertebrae. Continuing through the hips, down each leg. And with the energy from the hands, it's all flushing out the feet. Let it go. Always return your energy, your attention, your consciousness, your awareness to the top of the head. We'll move into listening in. Remember, we're going to put gentle pressure at the base of the eyes, eyeballs rolled back into the head like you're looking up into the forehead. And close off your ears and listen. And you can lower your arms. And just try to maintain that sense of inward focus. And if it's difficult to hear with your ears closed, we hold listening in for about 5 slow breaths. Let's listen in a second time. Let's lower our arms. Hold the light. The silence of a quiet room is still not the same as the silence of listening to your energy, listening inside yourself. Play around with the pressure on your ears and see if you can listen more deeply. One more time, let's listen in. And you can bring your arms down. Place your hands how you'd like them in your lap. We'll spend just a couple of minutes in simple meditation. At the top of the head, centered stillness. Breath coordinated with mantra. Inhale, think, I am. Exhale, the light. I am the light. To come out of meditation, we bring our attention from the top of the head down between the eyes, bridge of the nose. And you may feel an energetic settling back in. Gently rub your eyes, stretch, move a little bit. Nice. If you have any questions or comments, you can unmute yourself by clicking the microphone icon along the bottom toolbar.
Amber, I'm not hearing anything yet, but I see what I finally, because of your notes, makes me think I'm seeing that thunderstorm. And I often will see an eye with a violet iris. So it's kind of an interesting thunderstorm.
Well, that violet color would be definitely the upper chakras, the willpower or intuitional crown.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing something one of these days since we're listening.
Yeah.
But
and you have to play around with how you're pushing. I have to press really hard and even a little bit forward. So it'll get
more forward than your eardrops.
Yeah. So okay. I'm pressing the flap in.
Yeah.
And sort of pressing forward. So it's closed very tightly.
Yeah.
Pressing pretty hard.
I close out all sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the refrigerator running when I'm doing it. So
good. Yeah. But like I said, even without hearing anything, hearing nothing that intensely really draws your focus in.
Yes.
It's very quieting. So that has benefit.
And calming
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Wonderful. Well, try to practice every day. Sit for, you don't have to make it as long as we do, but do a little bit every day. And think about your card. And we'll do it again next week. As always, email any questions if you don't feel like, sharing it with the group, but that's valuable too. Good deal. If you want to join the next hour, we disconnect from this one and reconnect to the open link. Matt, if you'll stop the recording, please.